to Bucket List Homestead. As you can see, David is sitting down with me today.
Hello.
We're finally recording the Q&A video that I've been trying to record for several weeks. I guess it took David getting surgery before we had a chance where we could just sit down and finally film this for you all. We have a good amount of questions and some really good ones. But first, I just wanted to say thank you for all your prayers and well wishes for David's surgery yesterday. It went really well. It was very fast. 15 minutes, I think, is all it took. He was home from the time I dropped him off to I picked him up, about 3 hours.
Yeah.
He's healing pretty good. Pains,
Too bad.
not too bad. He can walk on it. He just has to be smart about how much he uses.
Yeah.
And it's about a 2-week healing. So keep those prayers coming for fast healing, and more importantly, the surgery corrected all your pain.
Yeah.
That's what I'm really praying for. So, okay, now that that's done, we're gonna get to our questions.
Cool.
So I have them all printed out here, and we're just gonna, no particular order, we're just gonna start with the very first one I have here, and I thought this one was interesting. It says, are you truly happy? I'll let you answer first.
Absolutely. I am very happy. And it doesn't matter like where I'm at or what I'm doing. Even if I'm working or away for some reason or whatever, I'm happy because of what I get to come back to. So I have a most amazing family, and we have an incredible home, and despite all the things we might wish for in the future, we're doing very well, and it's a wonderful life, and I'm extremely happy.
Wow, I gotta follow up that. My quick answer is yes, I am happy, truly happy. It's a funny question because, I mean, obviously we're not happy every single day because we're human beings, but yeah, I'm really happy, and the wishing for more part, that's my problem, not his, and that's something I've always dealt with, but yes, I'm happy. Our kids are healthy. They're great kids. We do have a wonderful home. We're very lucky. I won't say lucky. We worked hard for what we have, but we're fortunate that we were able to work hard for what we have. And and it's one of the best times of year because it's garden season, though I'm already dreaming of fall because fall is my jam. So next question kind of follows up with this, and I'm sorry I did not think to write down everyone's names who asked me these questions. I'm just now realizing that. I probably should have done that, but this was from the same person. What are the things you value most in life? And again, I'll let you answer first.
Family. Simple.
Yep, family.
And that includes, pets and things like that. That's all part of your family too. So yeah, family is it. Things can be replaced.
Yeah, my faith. I definitely value my faith. My faith has gotten me through some very difficult times, and my family has also gotten me through some very difficult times. So yeah, family. There's no other answer.
No.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So, okay, next question. This is kind of fun, and I think I'll answer it first, and then we'll see what you say. What will you do differently when you move? And I assume you mean homesteading-wise. I'm going to assume that's what you meant. Differently. Well, what will we do differently? We will make sure we have infrastructure first before we add on any animals. Infrastructure first, then the animals. Hopefully, we'll luck out and find a place that's already got some fencing and a barn. Dave is charging his phone behind us, and he forgot to turn off the volume, so that was his phone going off. So yeah, so we hope to raise a beef cow probably every 2 years for our own consumption. We hope to add, David would like to have a horse on the property, and of course with a horse we have to get a donkey. I'd love to have a couple of sheep for the wool. I have a particular breed I'd love to get, but it's very hard to find in Canada, and we do find it. It's very expensive. I'll put a picture of it right here. I can never say the name properly, but they're so beautiful in the fleece. I would actually love to have merino sheep too, because their wool is amazing, and it sells for a pretty good penny right now. And I think we like to be a little bit more self-sufficient when we move.
That's part of the cow thing.
Cow, and a milk cow. Yeah. We're even actually thinking about getting possibly a mini Jersey for the milk. So yeah, that's some of the things I think I'm going to do differently. What would you do differently? when we move?
I'm not going to do a whole lot of things different. Definitely, since it's our second home that we bought, we're definitely going to be, if we're not building, we'll definitely be looking at the home much more intently, just to see if anything, is wrong. And as far as the homesteading thing is, I probably won't do a lot of things different.
I hope
It's
we can
just going to be added to,
Yeah,
because it'll be
right.
hopefully bigger than the one we have right now.
And all the skills that we've been learning over the last decade here, we hope to just take that with us. So
Because
I guess
I
it's not really different. We're adding.
Yeah, well,
So
I
I
want
don't
to be able to, fix things myself, like fencing and stuff like that.
We hope to have a tractor.
Yeah,
Like, well,
a
there's
tractor.
no hoping. If we're going to have a cow and a horse and more animals, we're going to need a tractor. There's no getting around that.
Yeah.
We're not picking up big round bales of hay. Sorry, Lily, it's either this or you're going to hear her crying, or
My phone going off?
you're going to hear her crying or pacing if I don't let her up here. So she's going to be part of the video, I guess, for a little bit. We'll see if she'll calm down. Okay. What will you keep doing the same in a different place? Pretty much we kind of answered that, I guess. I'm still going to have a garden. I'm still going to can. We're still going to, have chickens. We hope to have more dogs even, because we know we're going to need a guardian breed dog. So we're planning on that. But pretty much everything we're doing here, we'll just keep on doing there.
Yeah, it was a good idea for us to have the 2 water spigots, one out back and one out front.
Oh, yeah.
And we were planning on electricity also put in out back, so that's kind of, since we already thought of it here, we'd like to make sure it's already there when we get there.
Yeah.
And it is sheer convenience. It's not like, I don't know why it's not done automatically. So you don't running hoses and wires all the way around your house.
Well, they don't expect people to be growing food in their front yard, I guess. It's the main thing. But I always say this, I'd rather have food than lawn. So, it's more like things that make my life easier, making sure we have the watering already set up for the garden. So I can just turn on the hose and things get watered for the most part. So, but pretty much everything we're doing here, we'll keep on doing in the same place, and just add it on to it. Okay. What do you enjoy the most about homesteading? Oh my goodness.
I think the result.
The result, yeah.
Having stuff ourselves without going to the store to buy things.
Not relying on the supply chain to feed us.
Learning. And learning from the internet, other homesteaders.
Our failures.
Learning from our failures. That's a big thing.
Really?
It's that's we're hoping to keep that going and stuff, and helping other people too.
Yeah.
If they're not sure what to do and everything, based on our experience, that's kind of what
I love the community Homestead gives you, because people who homestead are just as excited about you when that first pepper is coming out on the plant. These are skills that women used to pass down to other women. They'd get together and have big canning sessions and things. The men would get together and help put up the barns and everything. So I love the community. Like David said, I definitely love the result. I love knowing what is in our food and most importantly what is not. I just love the slower pace. And people laugh because when I say slower pace, people think we don't work. You work. We work harder than we did at any 9-to-5 job. Physically harder, but you pick your hard, right? Like hard is getting up every morning early and traveling with traffic and putting up with traffic and going and sitting and dealing with all that. That's hard. Digging holes for fence posts, building coops, planting a garden, weeding, canning, that's hard. So you choose your hard. But for us, it's not stress, it's passion. And there's a big difference between passion and stress. And you choose your hard. And it is a slower pace of life because we're not in competition with anybody. We are enjoying, nature and just the wonderful being outside. We love being together and doing things together. We're a great team. So yeah, I just love the whole homesteading life.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I deal with wanting to do more now. I'm struggling with that because we end up getting more chickens. David did say it was okay. We're getting 5 more chickens. I'm pretty excited because some of ours are getting a little older too.
Yeah.
So we need to bring in the new stock. We weren't planning on it until we moved. We thought we'd just finish with these ones. But we honestly don't know how long it could be that we're going to be here. Thinking it was only going to be a year is a huge pipe dream. It could still happen.
Yeah.
There is something that has to happen in order for us to do that. But in reality, if that, major plan A doesn't work, we're probably looking at 3 years minimum still here.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean, that's a lot that we could still be doing in 3 years too. So, yeah. that I struggle with wanting to do more. I do. This is off question because this came up because somebody was curious about how our groceries seem to be so expensive here in Canada. Everything is expensive here in Canada. She is wanting the blanket behind me. Just 1 second.
My wish is that you don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the bell so that you don't miss any new videos. And if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button.
That's what she wanted. She wanted to be under the blanket. So hopefully we can finish this video.
Yeah, with the ghost.
Still, yes, they're very expensive here in Canada. They are. I get very frustrated with how expensive things are here in Canada. Don't even get me going about our cell phone bill. But the question was, minimum wage in Canada, is it higher because of the prices? And I can only speak for the few provinces I know about, one being the one we're in, Ontario. And I can tell you that minimum wage here is $16.60 right now.
Yeah.
It's actually going up to $17.10.
Yeah, at some point.
I think in October, which is a lot of money, minimum wage, especially when you're talking about a high school kid making that kind of money. Though they do have a student wage here in Ontario, which honestly I don't agree with. And it's $1 or $2 less an hour, which is still a lot of money for a teenager. But it's still not enough to live on here.
Yeah, but that's
like you
the
could
problem,
not
you
pay
see.
rent
No.
and food and have a car, just those basics, working 40 hours a week with minimum wage. You couldn't afford it here. The
No.
rents here are insane. Insane.
Yeah, everything drives everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So when the prices go up, minimum wage goes up, which
Yep.
drives the prices,
Prices up.
which drives the minimum wage up.
If they would
And-
lower taxes
and-
instead of
yeah.
raising the minimum wage, we probably would have, we'd have a lot more money in our pocket. And people would be making more money. Don't even get me going there. The tax rate here is
Yeah.
insane too. Very high. Very, very high. So, yeah, and I know, I can't think if there was one other province I knew the minimum wage, and now I can't remember it. I thought I knew New Brunswick's.
Yeah,
I think New Brunswick's is
I'm not
15
sure.
something. But yeah, so, like I said, it depends on the province you're in. Obviously, just like the States, it's different. But it's definitely high compared to what you would make in the States, but then we pay more for everything. So it all equals out. What has been my favorite video to make? Oh my goodness. Wow. I've made now over 600 videos and I've uploaded them to my channel, which I can't believe I've done that many. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could pick just one. I will say I loved doing Vlogmas last year where I put a video up every day from December 1st to Christmas Day. That was a lot of fun because I love Christmas. Probably the Every Bit Counts challenge videos. I do like doing those, and the pantry challenge videos in January. And then just some of the day in my life videos that I've done where we've gone off and done different things and we've been busy in the yard and things. But I think that's probably... And I think our Thanksgiving video I did that year. That was a lot of fun, where Tanya and I did our different Thanksgiving videos. So I can't really say just one, but those are some of them. Do you have one that you like that I've done?
I think they're all good. That's
My critic. I shouldn't say, not my critic, my biggest supporter. Oh, this is a good one. How did David and I meet?
So,
1989.
a few years ago, when we were a little younger, because we're still
We
very
were
young.
babies. I was 14.
Yeah, so
The summer of
summer
1989.
of 1989, yeah.
August.
Yes.
Yep.
One of my friends set us up on a blind date.
He was dating
He
one of
was-
my friends.
Yeah, and
Yep.
yeah, so yeah, we met at the movies for a blind date.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, and that's
That
where
was
it
it?
started. Yeah, so
2 weeks later, we had another date. And that was it. We've been together pretty much ever
Yeah.
since. High school sweethearts.
yeah,
Yeah. Got married when I was almost 19. David was almost 21.
yeah, I
Yeah.
wasn't old
You're
enough
just a
to
couple
drink
of
yet,
weeks
yeah.
from 21. Yeah. And a lot of people said it wouldn't last. And it'll be 31 years married this August and 35 years together. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. It will be 35 years we've been
Yeah,
together
so
since
it's-
our blind date. Wow, that's crazy. So that's how we met. Would we ever move to the USA? Well, I'm originally from the USA myself. I mean, you never say never because that's a mistake. Never, we've learned that with military life. We never say never.
We'll say that there's no plans to.
No, there's no plans, and I don't really see it.
But
Now,
we don't know the future. Of what he does.
Aiden. Aiden might. It wouldn't surprise me if he didn't think about moving because he's talked about it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here in Canada. We have a lot of people leaving Canada because it costs so much, including our young people. Aiden might, but I really, honestly, probably no.
I mean, there's a lot of considerations. You know, do I have to get naturalized or
Yeah.
anything? You know, healthcare
Hel-
and things like that.
yeah.
So, like you said, and you know, taxes and stuff, and
Yeah.
things would have to be. You'd have to work out a lot of details.
You have to still claim your income for Canada
Yeah.
here, and it's a lot.
It is.
We are, and honestly, I mean, I know you never say never because you never know man plans, God laughs. Our next move, as far as we are concerned, is it.
Yeah.
That is the last
one, yeah.
move. And we are hoping we're going to be moving closer to the border.
Yeah.
So we can go into the States more often.
Right.
For shopping and things and visit family. So that's part of our plan is we know we're going to be moving closer to the border than we are now. But yeah, no plans on that.
No.
What is your favorite breakfast, lunch, supper, and snack? Oh my goodness. Okay, so my favorite breakfast, honestly, is plain Greek yogurt sweetened with a little bit of maple syrup or homemade low sugar fruit jellies or jams with some fruit thrown in and a little bit of granola. That is probably that's a healthy breakfast. And then my other favorite breakfast is I love Dutch baby pancakes. I also love French toast. But mainly, like if I go for every day, would be the yogurt. What's your favorite breakfast?
You know what? I don't discriminate. I like pancakes and waffles and bacon
Probably
and
wraps,
eggs
though.
and
You love the
home
breakfast
fries
wraps.
and breakfast wraps.
Yeah.
And I love breakfast. All parts
Lunch.
of it.
Lunch is usually leftovers from supper. Or I love a big salad with some chicken in it and blue cheese dressing. Or I love Panera's apple Fuji salad. I love that. And sometimes it's just a sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't know if we really have a favorite lunch.
No, it's pretty much whatever I can put together.
Yeah.
Like, lunch is kind of rough sometimes.
Yeah, lunch is a struggle, which brings me to make sure you hit the bell for notifications because I'm going to have a video coming out dealing with lunch soon. So, favorite supper for me, it's anything Mexican. I love the fajitas. I love the tacos. I like the burrito bowls. I like guacamole and pico de gallo and salsas and cheese. Like I love Mexican, so that would probably be my favorite supper.
Yeah.
What do you love?
I mean,
I know
yeah.
what you love. Chicken cordon bleu.
No, I like
You love that.
bleu,
You love
you know,
lasagna. You like pastas.
pastas, you know. I like ham. I like, the baked hams and stuff. Yeah, so.
Turkey dinners.
Yep.
That's your favorite.
Yeah,
It's always
the
his
big-
favorite
the big
part of the holiday.
Meals are, yeah, they're the way to go.
Yep. And snack. Actually, one of our favorite snacks together is some raw cashews some pistachios, a little bit of cheese, and apple.
Yeah.
We have that. That actually sounds good right now. And maybe a little bit of peanut butter for the apple. That's probably one of our favorite snacks.
Yeah.
Honestly. And then, you know, David loves chips.
Yeah.
He's a chip person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us something that embarrassed you the most. You are hard to embarrass.
Yeah,
David
good
is
luck.
very hard to embarrass. I mean, truly, 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 he really is. I think probably one of my most embarrassing moments is when I got into the wrong car that time. Because it was parked beside our car and was the exact same car. And literally got in it and sat down. You let me. And then I realized I was not in the right car. That was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm sure I've had more. I just can't think of any.
Childhood was embarrassing. Thought a lot of things happened in childhood. I don't get embarrassed much in my adulthood
No.
because I just don't care anymore about being embarrassed. Doesn't bother me. But when I was small, in elementary school, we had a big sports day. I probably told you that, this one. They actually built a big stage out in front of the whole school and with microphones and everything, and all the trophies and ribbons were all up there.
I don't think you told me this story.
And you know, the teachers were up on stage with the microphone, and they were calling out people who won the trophies and stuff, and called my name. At least I thought it was. So yeah, I got up. I was sitting in the back of the crowd. The entire school was out on the lawn, watching everything. So I walked from the very back of the crowd through everybody, up on stage
Thinking
to
you won
get my
something.
award. So I grabbed the trophy from the teacher with a big smile on my face, and he wouldn't let it go. And I said, "Okay, well, what's going on?" And he said, "You didn't win this. It was actually my cousin who won it, who had the same last name as me."
Oh.
So yeah, I had to, and the whole school erupted with laughter, and yeah, so
Yeah, that would be
I had
embarrassing as
to
a
slink
little
down off
kid.
stage and walk through everybody again up to where I was sitting with everyone laughing and pointing and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was probably one of the most
Embarrassing.
moments.
Who taught me to cook? Okay, so to bake was my babysitter I had growing up, Diane Kraft. Lovely, lovely lady. She unfortunately passed a few years ago from diabetes. She loved music, loved music. There was always music playing in her house, rock music especially. We'd always do little we'd do little routines and dance, and she'd get up there with us and we'd perform them for everybody. But she was a baker. Oh my gosh, she made the best homemade bread and dinner rolls, like bar none. And I can remember her showing me how to shape them and everything. Her desserts were amazing. My mother still talks about Diane's mocha cakes and raspberry bars and date squares. My mother loves date squares. So she definitely taught me to bake, was definitely Diane. Cook, I will say my mother was not a huge cook. Now that being said, there's definitely things she cooked growing up I loved. I still love her mac and cheese, her homemade baked beans, her hermit cookies. She makes the best, and I don't even like things with raisins, but I'll eat my mother's hermit's cookies. They're amazing. But she wasn't, I mean, she would do, pork chops and chicken and things like that. My dad actually cooks a lot of the meals with them, and he does a lot. But I think I'm mostly self-taught, watching Food Network, before YouTube, cookbooks, and trial and error. So that's who taught me to cook, I guess, myself. But yes, Diane, I'm sure she watches from heaven and is just loving that I bake, because baking is my love language. It absolutely is. It's one of my love languages. So, and you don't really cook. I guess I taught you to cook.
I can cook a few things.
You're great on the barbecue.
Yeah, I can cook on the barbecue and shove things in the oven.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, what is my favorite tea to drink? Irish breakfast. That is my go-to every morning. I love strong black tea. If I can't find Irish breakfast, which is hard to find, English breakfast is my second favorite. And then I love chamomile tea. I love, there's another tea, that Golden Dragon, that I absolutely love, that I have been able to find. That was from Tivana. Starbucks tea store that did not last long. It didn't last long here. I don't know if it's still in the States, but it's not in Canada. That's a mix of yellow and white tea, and it is delicious. I love matcha tea, and I have a pumpkin matcha that I love that I have in the fall. That's a latte. So there's not a lot. I don't like Earl Grey. Oh, I'm going to say it. This is a strong word. I hate it.
Sorry, cutting the card.
I hate Earl Grey. Don't like it at all. It's the bergamot. I'm not a fan of. It's too licoricey tasting, and I do not like licorice. So black licorice. But I'm not too discriminatory when it comes to tea for the most part, other than that Earl Grey. There's one other I'm not a huge fan of, and I'm trying to think of what it is. I don't mind Rubios. I don't mind Oolong. But there is one more, and I can't think of it. I'm trying to think of it. It's right there. Chai. I'm not a big fan of the chai. I think it depends on the brand and if I can make it myself. So, yeah, that was a long answer for my favorite tea. But what is on tap for the family in the next few months?
It's summer.
Get you healed first.
Yeah, I gotta get healed. I got a lot of yard work I gotta get done. We got a lot of prep work.
For the new chickens.
We're
building another coop. Well, we're building on to that existing little coop we got from Amazon last year for the... Did we buy that for the meat birds? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But we're adding on to that and making it bigger because we're going to separate the new chickens from the old chickens.
Yeah.
Don't know if it's going to be forever, but it's going to be for at least a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have that to do. Other than that, we are hoping to do a trip to the Toronto Zoo with the kids. But that's probably going to be, truthfully, in September.
Yeah.
When it's a little, not quite so hot, and a lot of the tourists are gone. We were trying to go in May, but it just didn't work out with everything. With Aiden's track meets and everything, it was too hard. There's some things we're trying to do that we love to do here before we move. What else is on tap? You and I are doing a trip to Maine later in the summer. Other than that,
it's mostly around here.
Yeah, we don't. We're homebodies, and the kids are homebodies, especially Grace.
We're looking to get a new floor put in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Do some canning and stuff like that.
A lot of canning and preserving going to be happening.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Everything else it comes up at the spur of the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, we really should get this. Okay, let's get it going.
It's a lot of homesteading stuff,
Yeah.
and I know that sounds boring, but we're homebodies. We don't have, other than our trip to Maine.
There's enough to do around here to keep us busy. Yeah.
And we do have some fun. We have to remember our kids are older now too.
Yeah.
So they're not as...
we're going to go four-wheeling and stuff like that. Go hit the trails and things like that.
Try to make more time for a few more fun things this summer.
Yeah.
Than we have in the past.
Everyone seems to want to go bowling and stuff, so we'll give that a shot.
So, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Aiden's still looking for another job so he can get more shifts and more hours. So he should be able to get his final license this summer.
Yeah.
But with one shift a week, he has not been able to save for car or insurance. So that's disappointing. And he's trying. I don't think anyone's tried harder to get a job than that kid. So yeah, that's about it. How long have I been canning and preserving? 29 years. I'd say a year or two after we were married, I started doing my own because we moved further away from family after the first year of marriage, and I just couldn't go home as quick to get stuff from my grandmother's. So I had to start doing it myself. I can actually remember calling my grandmother and asking her how to make her pickled beets. That's probably one of the first things I made, other than bread and butter pickles. So it's been, 28, 29 years that I've been canning. Yeah. Water bath canning. Pressure canning, it's been 3 or 4 years that I've been pressure canning. And I've really gotten into the dehydrating just in the last couple of years. So, boy, I've been doing that a long time, water bath canning, a long time. Where in Eastern Ontario are we? So we're in Quinte West.
Yes.
Where it's about 2 hours from Toronto, if that helps you.
Yeah, east of Toronto.
That's where we are. Okay, next question, and it's still with the canning. What is my favorite thing to can? Oh my goodness, there's lots. Probably anything you pressure can now, because I love canning the meat and having the meat shelf stable. I love canning whole meals. I can just pop open the lid and we're good to go. Those are very convenient for crazy days and you still want to have a good meal. I'm trying to, and
Some things are probably easier to
can than others. What?
Because some things.
What's one of your favorite things I can?
I do like the jams and the jellies and the lemon curd and stuff like that. As far as eating, but as far as canning, I don't have a preference with your canning,
but I like pressure canning. I love it. It's game changing when you learn to pressure can.
The meals in a jar are convenient.
Yeah.
Like soup.
You like the chicken pot pie.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh yeah. The chicken
That's
pie
his favorite.
Really good. Yeah.
And dandelion jelly is probably yours. For some reason, you love that one. Yeah. So which surprises me. Blueberry jelly jam is my favorite. I love it. It's probably the only. I keep saying it's the only jam I'm going to make, and then I end up making a couple others. But
I think that's when people think of preserves and stuff like that, they probably think of jams and jellies, and that's it.
Yeah.
But you can literally can anything.
So much more. But yeah, I definitely love the pressure canning. So there's a lot of things. Now, on the same question is, what is something you would not can again? Oh, I will not can sweet potatoes again. Nope, they just get at least the way I can them. I can them in water. I am researching some other ways to can them because they just soaked up all the water and they are insanely mushy and runny. When I tried to make them into puree, it was like sweet potato soup.
Yeah.
It's good if you want a soup, but not so great if you want a little bit thicker, like mashed sweet potatoes.
And you probably run into that with a lot of root vegetables and things like that. They can tend to get a little...
We didn't care for the white potatoes that I canned, which is very disappointing because I have a lot still that I'm trying to figure out things to do with them. I just found they had a very weird texture and almost flavor a little bit to me. I'm not sure we like it. I'm trying to maybe add it to soups and things the last few minutes, just to heat them up. But yeah, very disappointing. I tried to make a potato salad with it and just did not like them. So, and we used a good potato that's good for canning.
I'm not sure if you don't normally add spices or anything to stuff that's being canned to kind of infuse it. I don't know.
No. But yeah, so I won't do sweet potatoes again. I won't can, there's something else I won't can. Raspberry jelly, believe it or not, because nobody seems to really like it around here. What else won't I can again that we didn't like?
Not that we didn't like it, but you only canned water once, I think, or something.
Yeah, I mean, that
was just something to try.
There's
not a lot that we didn't
I'm trying to think for the most part. I think pickles. I haven't canned pickles in forever because
we have a lot of pickles there, and
not anymore. We finally went through all of them, but I might make some this year.
To do gherkins. Little baby gherkins and stuff.
It's hard. It's hard to find the cucumbers small enough to do the baby gherkins. I'll try this year. So for the most part, there's not a lot I won't can again, but definitely the sweet potatoes. I'm not doing that again. Nope. At least that way, the way I did. That was bad. So the chickens are gonna probably get the rest of those. And that's probably the only thing that I won't can. And our last question, and I saved this one specifically for last because it might be a little bit longer answer. How did the homestead, our homestead, bucket list homestead, get its name? Well, it came from an actual bucket list that I've told this before, but I will certainly tell it again, especially for the new subscribers. I'm a 4-time cancer survivor, and the first time I went through cancer 13 years ago.
Wow, yeah, it's been a while.
It'll be 13 or 12. 2013, I was diagnosed. So it's 2024. How many years is that? 11 years. So
12 years?
No, it was 2012. It was September of 2012. September of 2020. Yeah, so 12 years. It'll be 12 years since I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. And to say it threw us for a loop is an understatement. No one expects to hear it. Nobody expects to be told you have cancer. And during, I think, the very first cancer treatment, we would talk a lot. Dave and I talked a lot before that first treatment. And we were sitting there, and I just like what do we want from life? Like, I think, it's just natural to start, taking stock of your life and everything. And we had young kids then. The kids were still small. And David was still full-time military and gone a lot with his job, a lot. And we just said, oh, what do we want? Well, we want our own house. We were pretty tired of military housing at that point. We'd lived in it about 20 years at that point, and we had enough of it. Yeah. And we just started a bucket list of things and he would never let me say when I was better or if I was better. It was always when I was better. And at the top was a house with enough property to have gardens and chickens and plant some apple trees, and the kids could have a big trampoline and they could run all over the yard and not have to worry about going into anyone else's yard and play and stuff. And it came from Bucket List, and we decided that's a good name for the homestead, Bucket List Homestead, which eventually I named my channel too. And that's how we got its name. Yeah. It literally came from writing a bucket list of things we wanted out of life. You know what's funny is on that list there was never anything about we want money. We want, it was very simple things we wanted. Yeah. The one thing, I think there's probably one thing left. Or there's a couple of things left, like raising our own cow and things like that. But one of the things left is to visit Ireland. That was on my list, so that's one thing. But a lot of them we've checked off. Yeah. We really have. We have checked off quite a few, so there's still a couple things left. But that's how we got the name. It's from an actual bucket list. So this was fun. Yeah. I'm really glad we were finally able to do this. We'll maybe try and do it again in a few more months, because I know I've gotten a lot of subscribers again, because you guys are all awesome over the last little bit, and it's always fun to answer. And what I'll do is if anyone asks me questions on certain videos, for the most part I answer right away, but maybe I'll start saving them up and do another video. So thanks for joining me in the Q&A today.
No problem.
And Lily, thank you for finally settling down. She is totally out cold, and if you listen quietly, you can probably hear the pug snoring too.
Yeah, they were there.
So thanks for joining. Don't forget to give a big thumbs up. It really helps us grow our channel more than you know, and we really appreciate you all choosing to hit play when you see our thumbnails. So until then, take care. God bless.
We'll see you all soon.
Bye.